have Natasha Clark, our political editor, who's been watching that seven-party debate that's been going on the BBC over the last 90 minutes. And she joins me now. Natasha, very good evening.
Good evening, Iain. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than in the spin room, talking to you guys down the line. That was a really feisty, I think, 90-minute clash. It's the first seven-way debate that we've seen with all of the party leaders essentially represented, in that it really did descend into chaos, all of them on some sort of purple weakest link style stage. I genuinely thought that at one point there might be a button that was going to be pressed and someone might fall into the floor. But yes, Penny Mordaunt started off defending the Prime Minister after that D-Day story, saying it was wrong that he had left yesterday. She wanted veterans to feel welcomed and treasured, but it just encouraged all the other party leaders to row in and attack the Prime Minister. Nigel Farage accused him of abandoning veterans. And we went on to talk about everything from climate change, the NHS, tuition fees, immigration tax and the cost of living. Barbs flying all over the place. The host, Michelle Hussein, did her best to keep all of them in line, but they did spat and kept on speaking over each other. We know that audiences don't really like that when they're watching it at home, especially on a Friday night as well. I think the smaller parties tried to focus their attention attacking the main larger ones. The two main ones, Labour and the Tories, kept their focus on each other. And this was interesting, Iain, because we didn't have Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer at this debate. We had Rayner for the Labour Party and Penny Mordaunt, who many tipped to be a future Conservative leader. This was one of her first outings on the stage, trying to live up to that. It's a bit of an audition for her in the role. I think the main zinger of the night, Michelle Hussein reminding the Liberal Democrats of their broken promise on tuition fees, got a bit of a laugh from the audience. Stacey Cooper admitting that was quite a sore spot, but I think everybody's got it summed up when an audience member asked, why is it that politicians promise so much in elections and then don't deliver anything? We had a few claps throughout the night. Tuition fees on more funding for the NHS, a small one as well for Nigel Farage, promising a revolt of the political system. There were a few proper barmies as well, Iain. The main clash I thought of the night was on tax. Penny Mordaunt obviously again mentioning that £2,000 tax rise she claims that the Labour Party are going to make. But unlike Keir Starmer did on Tuesday, Angela Rayner hit back immediately, calling it a lie. So she got in there quite early on, nice and easy. Rayner also got a bit of a laugh from calling Nigel Farage a clown personality. The Greens also got in there, bringing up Partygate as well, which I think got the audience a little bit animated too. But yes, all in all, a very fiery 90-minute clash, the first seven-way debate, and now we are here in the spin room to be spun to see who won the debate in terms of all of the politicians here, all of their representatives going to be telling us why their man or woman was the one that they thought came out best out of that clash.
Well, before we hear from them, and I know you're going to interview a couple of them for us during the course of this hour, who do you think came out on top?
I think Angela Rayner came out quite well, but she wasn't as feisty as I maybe thought she was going to be. I think everybody sort of expected her to really get down and dirty. I think Nigel Farage, obviously, he is a very experienced person at these kind of debates and has had probably more experience than anyone on the stage, did come out of it quite well. I don't think the audience liked him very much, however. For the smaller party, for the Greens, the Liberal Democrats and Plaid Cymru as well, I think they also did quite well, because this is the first time that many people are going to see them on a stage together. But look, Iain, I'll be honest with you, I don't think anybody really came out of that as the clear winner. There were absolutely no knockout blows, a little bit like what happened after the last debate. I don't think I would genuinely classify anyone as the winner in my book. I think they all got a few little barbs in of their own. I think we saw the best of it. The best of that tax debate was going on between Penny Mordaunt and Angela Rayner, was probably the clash of the evening.
You're being characteristically kind to them all and saying they're basically all winners.
I think they're all losers. In my book, I think we're all the losers. Look, we're all watching them on a Friday night. I think I'm the loser. But look, I just don't think any of them really cut through to the extent that I would go, yes, I would vote for them. But look, they are all meant to be here, or like I say, on a Friday night, hoping that they'll get clipped up, put around on social media. I think there was a few of that, especially the tax attack. I think that the Labour Party will be quite pleased that Angela Rayner came in and she was quite cool, calm and collected. I thought she mirrored Keir Starmer's attitude in the earlier debate that we had on Tuesday night. I think she was trying very hard to prove that she wasn't this sort of scrappy little northerner hard lass that obviously she's got a bit of a reputation for. She wanted to show that she could be the grown-up in the room and not descend into this big spat with Penny Mordaunt. I think I was expecting more from Penny, to be quite honest with you. I thought that the leadership debates may have prepared her a little bit better for this. I don't think she came as strong as I thought she might be. I didn't think she quite went in as hard for Labour, Labour's Angela Rayner, as potentially she could.
She did, according to Linwen on WhatsApp, who says Penny Mordaunt should learn some manners, wagging her finger in the face of Angela Rayner. She looked like she was trying the same trait as Liz Truss, dress like and hairstyle like Margaret Thatcher. Well, you can't say Penny Mordaunt has a hairstyle like Margaret Thatcher. That's ridiculous. Steve says, Angela Rayner did well, obviously not watching the same debate as me. And Rick says, Iain, can I ask, why do political commentators seem to equate a politician being feisty as a positive thing? That's one for you, Natasha.
I just think because politics is generally quite dull, isn't it, Iain? I'm the person that's trying to make it more fun and interesting. And when somebody tells it how it is, when somebody puts a little bit of passion, energy and excitement into politics, I think that's a good thing. I think politicians should do it a little bit more. But obviously they have a really fine balance to try and get right, because they need to show that they're sensible grown-ups. And that's what Angela Rayner needs to do. She needs to show that people should trust the party over everything that they're trying to say that they will do, and their plans for the economy, on tax, on migration, on the NHS, all of these important issues. They need to show that they are trusted enough. They are not a policy of protest anymore. That's what the Labour leadership wants to say is different under Keir Starmer's leadership. That's his message that he's trying to get across. And obviously the Tories were always going to have a really rough ride in this debate, of course, weren't they? Especially with the story that we've had in the last 24 hours about those D-Day's landings. This was always going to be easier for some of the smaller parties to get in there and whack the Tories with.